family and friends, happy Thursday. It is our character creation day. Remember, last week our character creation were, we did science fiction, and your character creations were characters you might find on a science fiction show. This week the genre we're doing is the Old Western. Westerns were really popular in the 50s and 60s. Not so much now, but you never know when they may come back, because there are like 50 million shows on TV, and there are shows that are in period piece. You know, they're in a different decade or period. So today we're going to work on the Western characters that you might find on the Western show, and each week we're just going to create some really fun characters, and your character creation will always be to create a character for character creation day. So let's get with the moving and grooving, and then we'll get our character creation for today. As you can see, I have a costume on. As actors, we wear costumes. Sometimes we wear wigs if it might be more appropriate for the character. So I am dressed in a long dress. We have a Western background behind us, like a little Western town and a dirt road. So we are all ready for our Western characters for today. Let's start with some moving and grooving, and then we'll get to our work for today. Cowboy like music.
We were riding.
Start to let your imagination carry you away. Imagine you're back in the old West.
Air was clear, slightly damp. We were riding back to have our little party, celebrating the ride of the train. We were talking kind of lonely, not having to go out soon again. You know, we hadn't been back home 2 hours.
Alright, we're gonna bring
But
up
a
the
hot
stop.
night in the night.
Okay, guys, good job. So, like I said, today we're focusing on characters we might find on Western shows or in the Old West. They don't make Westerns as much as they used to right now, as I said earlier, but you never know when they may come back, and they certainly make movies that are Westerns, the Old West. So again, we have to imagine we're back in the Old West, the 1800s. There were no cell phones, no TV, no cars. People rode on horses. But just to give you a little bit, to get your imagination going, imagine you live in this town where, there's no highways, there are dirt roads. Try to stimulate your imagination. Like, in the background, there's like a one story that looks like a store made of wood. Again, it wouldn't be like where we live now in LA, right? So start to trigger your imagination. Towns were a lot smaller. There weren't as you might live in a small Western town We're a very small town where everyone knows everybody. So that's what I want you to start to think of when we start to trigger your imagination. That's what I want you to think of and start to imagine what it would be like to live in an old western town. Alright? Okay guys, so let's imagine that the show you're going to be on is called The Homestead. That's the name of the show. It's a show about a western town in the late 1860s. Okay? So the characters you would find on The Homestead are all the characters that populate the town in the 1860s. Okay? So again, there were no cell phones, no TV, no cars, people rode on horses, and stagecoaches or trains. They did have trains, but no planes, nothing like that. So imagine what it would be like to live in that era, okay? With the character, I'll coach you through it, alright? Let's go to our first character. So let's go to our first character, I'll coach you through it. We'll come back and go to the next one. Let's go to our first character, please. Okay guys, so, and I just noticed a typo, so I apologize, but you and your friend are going for a horseback ride, and you're looking at the beautiful country you're riding in. You're riding outside of town, and you say to your friend, ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse in new country. Okay? Imagine you're on that horse, you got the galloping horse. Ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse in new country. Again, you're out on that horse, take a look around, let's do another take. It's really beautiful line. Ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse in new country. Good, take that one more time. Remember, you've just been riding the horse. Really beautiful. Just looking at the country, looking at the landscape. Your line is in action. Ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse in new country. That's actually from the show Lonesome Dove that was on years ago. Good, let's do one more take. Ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse in new country. Cut. Good guys, good job, good job, good job. Good guys, good. Shake that out. Shake that out. Good job. Good job. Okay. Let's go to our next character, the concerned neighbor. So this character is a concerned neighbor. You'll find out a little bit more about it when we go to the line and I coach you through it. Alright? So let's go to the concerned neighbor. Okay, for this one, guys, imagine there's a new neighbor that you don't trust. The breakdown says you and your friend are talking about a man who has moved into town. You don't trust him. There's something very suspicious about him. So you're talking to your neighbor, right? So you're very suspicious. I am going to the town to talk to the sheriff. There was something about that new Mr. Bailey that I just don't trust. Alright? So, again, let's do it again. I am going into town to talk to the sheriff. There is something about that new Mr. Bailey that I just don't trust. Good. Let's try that again. I'm going into town to talk to the sheriff. There's something about that new Mr. Bailey that I just don't trust. Good. Right? You're nervous, he made you uncomfortable. Let's try that again. I'm going into town to talk to the sheriff. There was something about that new Mr. Bailey that I just don't trust. Good job, guys. Let's do it one more time. I'm going into town to talk to the sheriff. There was something about that new Mr. Bailey that I just don't trust. Very good, guys. Very good. Okay, good. Shake that out. Okay? This next character is someone looking for a job. A lot of times, so imagine that you're looking for a job. I will coach you through it when you see the line. But this character is looking for a job on a farm. Okay? So again, I'll coach you through it. Let's go to that character, please. Okay, so God, imagine you're looking for a job. You need a job. You go to interview with this man. His name is Mr. Peterson. Okay? Mr. Peterson, he owns a farm. You want to work on the farm. You've introduced yourself. He's there with his son, 7 Newt. That's who you're referring to. Alright? So, he asks you, what kind of job have you had before? You answer, oh, I had a job waiting tables once on the riverboat. I wasn't no older than Newt there, but I had to give it up. Good, try that again. You really need this job. You haven't had a job in a long time, okay? You're asked, what is your job experience? Your answer, oh, I had a job waiting tables once on the riverboat. I wasn't no older than Newt there, but I had to give it up. Alright, so think about, you want this job, you need it. You're answering, you really want this job. You're asked about your experience. Alright? You worked on riverboats, another farm, but you know you can do this job. You say, oh, I had a job waiting tables once on a riverboat. I wasn't no older than Newt there, but I had to give it up. Good, try this one more time. Imagining hearing that question, what type of job experience do you have? And this is your answer. Oh, I had a job waiting tables once on the riverboat. I wasn't no older than Newt there, but I had to give it up. Good guys, good job. Good job, Dad. Good job. Shake that out. We're gonna go to our final character, the sheriff. Alright? The sheriff in the town is always the person who held down the law, right? So again, when we go to that character, coach you through it, imagine you're a sheriff. You're being the sheriff. Alright? Live truthfully in that imaginary circumstance. Let's go to the sheriff, please. Alright, so now you're the sheriff. You're talking to a man, and we'll call him Robert, you believe is causing trouble. Alright? So you're making it known that you're the boss. You're the rule maker. Alright? Repeat after me. So you're not gonna yell, but you're gonna be tough. I am the sheriff in this town. I make the rules. I enforce the rules. Got a problem with that? I reckon you won't if you know what's good for you. Alright? So repeat after me. Get this tough. Imagine you're just telling this guy who's in charge. I am the sheriff in this town. I make the rules. I enforce the rules. Got a problem with that? I reckon you won't if you know what's good for you. Okay. Guys, let's do this again. Yeah, I noticed a couple of typos. That should be a question mark. I apologize. Alright? Ready? I am the sheriff in this town. I make the rules. I enforce the rules. Got a problem with that? I reckon you won't if you know what's good for you. Okay. Imagine you're just looking this person in the eye and letting them know what's what. Who's in charge? You are. I am the sheriff in this town. I make the rules. I enforce the rules. Got a problem with that? I reckon you won't if you know what's good for you. Good job, guys. Good job. And again, apologies for the typos today. Good job, guys. Good. Again, for your character creation work, I'm going to send out these lines and you can tape yourself during one of those 4 characters, right? And again, guys, let me grab my phone really quick. We're taping, you just take your cell phone and you can even hold it and tape yourself during the lines, or if someone at home can just record you and then you can text it to me. You can email it to me, but you can upload it on Facebook. But again, for self-taping, if you can, even if you held it yourself like that, and recorded it, or if you live with someone and you can say, could you please tape me doing this line? And then again, you can text it to me, you can upload it on Facebook, you can email it to me, you can also always call and do the character as a voicemail, okay? I prefer tape, but if you do a voicemail, that's okay too. On June 11th, that's my next showcase. I want to showcase a lot of your work. So again, I'll be sending out the character lines, and I'm going to send them today instead of waiting until tomorrow. So you will get your character lines today. You do one of them, one of the Western characters. Again, record yourself. Even if you have it, hit record and do that. Record yourself, email it to me, text it to me. You can put it on our PA, even if you send it to the PFAW our Facebook page, and I can download it. Alright, or you can call me and do the character as a voicemail. Alright, that's your character creation for today. Then through next Wednesday, which is May 11th, I think. May 11th o'clock. Okay? But that's a Wednesday. Alright, guys. Really good job today. We had fun. Tomorrow is our, tomorrow is our Shake for Friday day. And, I look forward to doing that with you guys. We're gonna go back to some insults. So, I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you. I miss you. Let's end it with another cowboy song. It wasn't in the 1800s, but I love this song.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't
Great job today, guys.
Horses in the back, horse stock
See you
is
tomorrow.
attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my blood. Cheated on my baby. You can go and ask.